Angeles up 81%, San Francisco up 24%. Now, that has an impact on you as a consumer because the prices will go up to reflect those stolen goods. That's just basic business. If they're not able to sell those goods, if those are losses, they got to find a way to compensate. So you end up seeing rising prices when you go into the store. It also just has a demoralizing effect on people when you go in and you want to buy toothpaste, and it's like Fort Knox because it's all under lock and key for basic items. You got to get a clerk to come and open it and all this stuff just to do basic shopping. That is not something that is good for quality of life. And then, of course, if you can have people come in and just steal retail and walk out, that creates a contempt for the rule of law that has a spillover effect in areas far beyond retail theft. And so in Florida, we've actually seen a decline in retail theft over the last 4 years, and we're proud of that. I think it's because a lot of people know this is not the state you want to try that in, but we are seeing issues with retail theft across the country. Nationwide, 88% of retailers have reported that shoplifters are more aggressive and violent now compared to just a few years ago. 49% so they have observed much more violent and aggressive behavior. Why? Because I think these people come in and they have a sense of entitlement that they can take what they want and that they're not going to be held accountable. And so I think the behavior has reflected that. You see stores closing down in different parts of the United States, whether that's Target closing 9 stores in Portland and Seattle, Walmart closing stores in Chicago, Nordstrom closing stores in San Francisco. That is a direct result of the lack of commitment to the rule of law and holding criminals accountable. So we're not going to do that in the state of Florida. We're going to make sure that our retailers are able to sell products, that consumers are able to benefit, and that people are held accountable when they break the law. This theft is not limited, though, to just retail outlets. You also have in an era where people are clicking and ordering online and having packages delivered to their front door, you have a cottage industry of porch piracy, where people will go and steal packages from somebody's front door. And different citizens have responded in different ways. You have cameras, the doorbell cameras, you have all this other stuff, but it's not certainly effective in soft on crime jurisdictions, and it's not something you should have to do in the state of Florida, and so we're not going to put up that either. So today's bills, the bill I'm going to sign, not only cracks down on retail theft, it also cracks down on porch piracy, so that if you order something and they leave it at your front door, you come home from work or you bring your kids home from school, package is going to be there, and if it's not, someone's going to have hell to pay for stealing it. So HB 549 is a great piece of legislation. It is pretty much doing the opposite of what a lot of states like California and New York have done. It believes that we need to increase penalties on those who are committing these acts. So we will raise penalties on people that steal packages from your front porch. They are going to be deterred from doing that with adequate penalties. We're also increasing penalties for the so-called retail theft rings. So if you have 5 or more people, you're going to have enhanced penalties as a result of that, because this is a coordinated effort that you see in some of these jurisdictions. We are also going to make it a second-degree felony if you use social media to solicit others to participate in retail theft, because what you have are these flash mobs that are incited by social media to descend on some stores, and the thing is, the clerks are overwhelmed at that point. It's very hard to keep things in order, and we are going to hold people accountable in a really big way if they're committing retail theft with a firearm, or if they've already had previous convictions for retail theft. You're looking at really, really serious penalties. So I think what we're doing has been successful compared to other jurisdictions. The fact that we've seen a decline, but we also know that we got to do all we can to be able to protect public safety. This bill, cracking down on the porch pirates, cracking down on retail theft rings, making sure people that use social media to incite these flash mobs of retail theft, that all those people are held accountable, and they will be held accountable in the state of Florida. We don't want to see stores go out of business. We don't want to see prices increase, and we certainly don't want to treat every retail establishment as if every item needs to be under a lock and key just so that they're not looted without end. And that will not happen in the state of Florida. You will have toothpaste on the shelf that you can grab, check out, and leave. Imagine that. Isn't that great to be able to do that? So thanks for the legislature for being involved in this piece of legislation. So we're excited about this. I think if you look some of the things that go wrong throughout our country, I mean, you had these people in like California and New York taking over private residence and squatting and then saying that they have rights to be there. And then like the homeowner's like, well, wait a minute, no, it's not your house. Then the homeowner's the one that is under the gun somehow. And so we're like, that's not going to work in Florida, especially with a lot of seasonal residents. And it's not just wealthy people. I mean, obviously there's people in Martin County that are very wealthy, but there's a lot of middle-class retirees who spend 7, 8, 9 months a year in Florida. Maybe they go somewhere else for the summertime. You want to come back from summer and then someone's in your house and you can't get them out. That ain't happening here. That if someone tries that in Martin, you get the sheriff in there and he gets them out. And that's just what it is. So we're not going to put up with these scams. This retail theft, it's a total scam. You have liberal laws, and these people are exploiting that to basically further themselves, knowing that they can loot a certain amount without really facing any significant penalties. Now, that hasn't been true in Florida, as the Attorney General said, but I think what we're doing today is really laying down the gauntlet for porch pirates, for the organized theft, for the social media flash mobs. This is not the place you do it, and if you try to do it in Florida, you are going to regret that you tried to do it in Florida. All right, anyone that wants to the participants come up, we're going to make this official.
Get in there, Bob. I'm sure you'll be up front.
All right.
Get everybody here. Get the sheriff.
Today is the 9th of April. Am I right? Right, okay.
You got it first.
All right. All right, who wants one?
Sure.
You got a lot over the years.
Bob, right
Who
over
else?
here.
Signed a lot of my bills.
I know. Who else? Anyone else? Okay.
I'll take
Yeah,
one.
well,
Oh, good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Here we go. Free the toothpaste. Good deal. All right. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
This is
Media, to our media friends, thank you so much, and now I can sign legislation.
So we're going to have some more bill signings throughout this week that is also going to focus on fighting crime. So yesterday we were in Seminole County, and we were able to sign legislation to protect our first responders from being exposed to fentanyl, because a lot of times these guys may have drugs on them. They won't be honest about what's on them. And if a first responder is exposed, you don't have to ingest. If you're exposed, this can be very hazardous. We're gonna throw the book at them for that, because they're endangering people. We also launched an awareness day to increase awareness around the state about the dangers of fentanyl, particularly for young people, because you're out and about and you think you're going to try something off the street that you may think it's something else, but if it has fentanyl in it, that could be the end right there. This is very, very potent stuff. So we're proud of all we've done to combat the opioid epidemic, and we announced that we are expanding our core network, our coordinated opioid response network. We've actually seen a decline in opioid-induced deaths since we've done that. It really provides intervention and assistance, and not just someone comes to the hospital after overdosing and then they get discharged. We know that's a revolving door. They're going to end up back in the hospital. We're trying to break that up. And so we started with 12 counties. It grew out of Palm Beach. We expanded to 12. Now we did even more. And I think if you look at the counties we have, it's like probably 75+% of the population in Florida is represented in those 29 counties that we're doing that now. So this is something that's very good, especially as the deaths have gone up, continuing over in the nation. For us to have seen a decline, not like a massive decline, but a decline, that's something that we've got to build on. So we're excited about that. Okay, we got any questions? Yes.
Yes, thank you for coming, Governor. Keith Burbank with the Stewart News.
Sure.
I was wondering why you chose to come to Stewart today. Why you chose Stewart to make this, to sign this bill and make this
It's just
announcement.
a great part of the state. It's just a great, great county. You know, we try to get around, and we had done some stuff. We rolled out the proposal in Southwest Florida. We have just been in Miami and Broward a lot recently, and I'm like, we got to show the Treasure Coast some love. I mean, I think that this is probably not the #1 target for retail thieves, because I think they know they probably would have maybe some better options. But we're happy to highlight a great part of the state. And it's interesting when I bop around and talk to people who say they're gonna move, or they moved from wherever. The people that have moved to the Stewart area, they always are glad that they did it. It's a great quality of life, and there's a lot of great folks, and so we appreciate that. And just know that you have our support.
Respond to questions about Keith Pearson?
I don't know what questions are out there. You can talk to them about that, and then they can follow up with you. All right. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you.